Hello, hello. Welcome to day 3 of PPMA Show 2023. PPMA TV brought to you by our good friends at Markham Image. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an epic 3 days here, once again in Birmingham. And well, we fought through the awards, we fought through the gala dinner, we fought through the exhibitor drinks last night, and we are here, still standing, most of us, to finish off PPMA 2023 with a bang. Speaking of finishing off with a bang, I'm delighted to be joined by editor at Machinery Update, Gail Hunt. Gail, thank you very much for joining us. You have been, I'm going to say, almost as busy, no, busier than we have, buzzing around the show floor, speaking with all and sundry here at the NEC over the last 3 days. What I'd really like to do is just take a couple of moments to take a bit of a step back. We've been very exhibitor focused, chatting with the hundreds of exhibitors here, talking about the thousands of brands that they're representing. But I'd really like to ask you about the bigger trends that we may have seen surface at this year's event, because whether it's sustainability, circular economy, whether it's automation, whether it's workforce challenges, I'd appreciate your view on what really has risen to the top in terms of conversations between exhibitors, between all the rest of the great and good that have been here this year. What's caught your eye?
Well, I think a lot of the issues you've just talked about continue, and they've started. These are not all new. Sustainability has been around for a long time, but mainly in packaging initially. So it was all about recycled materials, compostable, but the machine manufacturers had to cope with those material changes. So they've done all of that, and now they're getting even smarter. So they're now deciding to save energy on their machines. There's all sorts of things around here that show energy monitoring and also material savings, obviously, all of that. So I think that is key, because brand owners, the big blue chips especially, they are going to dial down to their machinery manufacturers improving their road to net zero. They can't afford to greenwash, and I really don't think the PPMA members are greenwashing. They are basically saying, if you use this amount of energy, this is what it's costing you in pounds, but it's what it's costing the environment. So they can prove their savings on all of these issues. So I think it really has come on a pace from 10 years ago when it wasn't even mentioned, but now it's more and more sophisticated to all of the members around here. I doubt you'll find a stand that word isn't used when you go onto it.
I think one thing that's really hit home for me this year is this focus on, in the context of economic headwinds and financial challenges and high interest rates and inflations and so on, about optimization, about ensuring productivity is as high as it can be, wastage is as low as it can be, and just getting as much bang for your buck as possible. In a way, it's a shame that maybe some people haven't been operating in that way before, when it's taken really kind of like big, huge global challenges to force people to really try and wring those efficiencies. But I think that's what we're seeing. And manufacturers, resellers here are talking about fitting the right equipment for the right price to make sure that customers are able to get as much value from those as possible. And I think that speaks to the same thing. Where there are other challenges in terms of workforce, well, brilliant, let's make our machines work harder and smarter with less wastage. Is that something you're seeing as well, this efficiency drive?
Well, certainly smart technologies are also everywhere around the show. Again, baby steps, but baby steps are probably the best ones to take. Start small and don't just go straight for, we need a smart factory. Start small and move on. I think in terms of productivity, that is key, because the labour shortages continue. We've had Brexit, we've had COVID, and also what that has also impacted our supply chains. So many of the manufacturers around here will still be struggling to get the parts to put on their machines. That obviously puts lead times out. Some people are quoting a year for a machine here and longer. So that doesn't help someone who's got a need today to automate their factory. Obviously, robotics are a big thing, and it's not just robot manufacturers. Most what you would call traditional PPMA members use robots on their equipment in some form now. They weren't doing that 10 years ago. They weren't doing it 5 years ago, all of them. But I think robotics, obviously, automation is key, absolutely key to UK PLC moving forward. Because I don't think many people have much money to spend on equipment. I think they've been hanging off, whether that's because of political uncertainty, interest rates, has also impacted the industry, which has been going through a tough time. We can't disguise that. No one in manufacturing is booming. Well, that's obviously there's always people who are booming, but the majority are still facing tough times, I think. I still think people think that.
And like you say, automation is one of the ways in which the industry can continue to ensure that it remains competitive on a global stage. I know the PPMA group has its automation manifesto that we were chatting with Peter and James about a couple of days ago. That's all good news, and this kind of lobbying muscle that the PPMA group is trying to develop and trying to be really a mouthpiece, much more of a mouthpiece for the industry. I think that's all great. My final question to you, on that automation piece, is around the digital side. We've been talking about Industry 4.0 and connecting things, Internet of Things for years, and the value that data and analytics can bring. AI has been very much a conversation, whether it's in the consumer landscape or an industry, more so over the last 12 or 18 months or so with these innovations around generative AI, ChatGPT, Midjourney, all of these things. There's a lead time, there is time. Machinery sometimes moves slowly. Is it too soon to start expecting to see that type of automation on a digital sense, artificial intelligence decision making? Is it still a bit soon to be seeing that manifest itself here on the show floor?
I think you will see it on some stands around the show floor, but it's not going to be every stand yet. Maybe if, we're back here in 3, 4, 5, even quicker on a lot of companies, it will change. It's starting. And I think the benefits are out there for everyone to see, and I'm sure a lot of the members are already working in that area, definitely.
Exciting times ahead, and like you're saying, hopefully we'll see some of this play out in 2024 and beyond. Gail, always a pleasure to chat. Thank you very much for joining us right now.